Patrick Mahomes has the NFL world stunned after reports of a shocking new deal outside football. With growing questions about what this means for his future in the league, many fans now believe Mahomes could be preparing for a career change nobody saw coming. On December 14, 2025, the Kansas City Chiefs were already having their worst season in over a decade, sitting at 6-7, 3 games behind Denver in the AFC West. Then, trailing the Chargers 16-13 with under 2 minutes left, Mahomes rolled right to extend a play. Defensive lineman Deshaun Hand rolled up on him. Mahomes hit the ground in serious pain and was helped off the field. The diagnosis? Torn ACL and LCL in his left knee. Surgery with Dr. Dan Cooper in Dallas confirmed the injury was fixable with no nerve, artery, or meniscal damage. But the season was over. For the first time since 2014, the 3-time defending AFC champions were eliminated from the playoffs. Mahomes had reached the AFC Championship in all 7 years as a starter. One play against the Chargers, and the dynasty was staring at its darkest moment. The football world started asking, will Mahomes ever be the same? Is the Chiefs' window closed? And then, while he was still on crutches, something happened off the field that made just as much noise.
Just weeks before the injury, Mahomes locked in his long-term future with Adidas, a multi-year extension that reinforced his position as the face of their entire U.S. football division, a role he has held since being drafted in 2017. But this wasn't just another sneaker deal. This one opened a brand new door: golf. The extension landed in late November 2025, right before the Chiefs played Dallas on Thanksgiving. Financial terms weren't disclosed, but the scope was impossible to miss. The deal gives Mahomes the chance to expand into Adidas Golf, including a signature line of golf apparel. This came on the back of his successful cross-training shoe line, the Mahomes Impact FLX. He'll continue as a global Adidas face, building on collaborations with Lionel Messi and Kaká. This is a relationship nearly a decade old, and both sides are clearly betting it lasts much longer.
Football players launching golf lines isn't completely new. Tom Brady did it in 2022. Reggie Bush launched one with Travis Mathew last year. But Mahomes is entering golf at the absolute peak of his cultural relevance, still on the largest contract in NFL history while recovering from the worst injury of his career. The timing tells a layered story.
Adidas isn't signing Mahomes to a golf line because they think he's leaving football. They're signing him because he makes golf relevant to people who would never pick up a club. He's a bridge between audiences, and that bridge is worth more than any traditional golfer could deliver. But here's where it gets even bigger. While the Adidas deal made headlines, the financial moves happening behind the scenes in Kansas City were just as remarkable. In July 2020, Mahomes signed a 10-year, $450 million extension, the largest contract in the history of professional sports, built with rolling guarantees that locked the Chiefs in deeper every year. And by 2026, it had been restructured 4 times. The latest came in February 2026. The Chiefs converted $54.45 million of Mahomes' 2026 salary into a signing bonus, dropping his cap number from $78.2 million to $34.65 million and creating $43.65 million in cap space. They needed it badly. They had entered the offseason over $57 million over the cap. The catch? Mahomes now adds $11 million to the cap in each of the next 4 years, pushing his 2027 number to $85 million. The can got kicked down the road, and that road is getting shorter. A new deal after this coming season is basically unavoidable. The financial maneuvering proves one thing above all else: the Chiefs aren't letting Mahomes go anywhere.
While the contract restructure kept Mahomes tied to Kansas City, the Adidas deal was just the latest piece of one of the most carefully built business portfolios in all of sports. His wealth comes from the largest NFL contract ever, roughly $20 to $25 million in annual endorsements, and minority ownership stakes in the Kansas City Royals, Sporting KC, Kansas City Current, and an F1 team. Those ownership stakes are what truly separate him from everyone else. In 2020, at just 24 years old, Mahomes became the youngest co-owner of a Major League Baseball team when he bought into the Royals. His father, Pat Mahomes Sr., played 11 seasons in the MLB, so baseball runs in the blood. Then came Sporting Kansas City. Then in 2022, he co-owned the NWSL's Kansas City Current alongside wife Brittany. He launched the Miami Pickleball Club with Naomi Osaka. In late 2023, he and Travis Kelce backed the Alpine Formula One team. They also partnered with Noble 33 to launch 1587 Prime, a steakhouse set to open in summer 2025. This is not a man collecting paychecks. He is shifting from spokesperson to owner. Endorsements pay once, ownership grows in value forever. His endorsement roster, State Farm, Oakley, DraftKings, T-Mobile, Coors Light, Hublot, would make any athlete jealous. But the equity moves are where generational wealth gets built. On top of all that, he helped switch Texas Tech from Under Armour to Adidas in a 10-year deal that launched in 2024. And he used his Adidas relationship to provide custom uniforms with his personal Gladiator logo to 15 high school programs across the country. That Gladiator logo, P and M fused into a warrior mask, is becoming its own brand. It's on Texas Tech, it's on high school jerseys, and soon it will be on golf courses. When you zoom out, the picture becomes crystal clear. Mahomes isn't leaving football to become a golfer. He's building a brand empire that will outlast his playing career by decades. His ownership stakes, endorsement income, and NFL salary put him on a realistic path to billionaire status by retirement. His net worth sits at around $90 million as of 2026, but if his contract is fully realized, that's another $200 million before it expires in 2031. Add Investment and endorsement earnings on top. By the time he's 40, the math looks completely different.
So is Patrick Mahomes leaving the NFL? No. The real story is that a 3-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time MVP, and holder of the biggest contract in NFL history just suffered the worst injury of his career and responded by expanding, not retreating. On the football side, the rehab is the main storyline. Mahomes says recovery is going well, and the goal is simple: be ready for Week 1 of the 2026 season.
Standard ACL recovery takes about 9 months. Chiefs VP of Sports Medicine Rick Burkholder confirmed that timeline, with a month of variance either way. Since Mahomes went straight into surgery to start the rehab process immediately, a mid-September return is possible. The biggest milestone came in March 2026, when he posted an Instagram video doing drills and throwing a football in an indoor facility, wearing a sleeve on his left leg. That's ahead of schedule for most ACL recoveries. In fact, his doctors have had to pump the brakes on him pushing too hard, too fast. The Chiefs have been moving aggressively to rebuild around Mahomes for his return. They traded cornerback Trent McDuffie to the Rams for a package of picks, including a 2026 first-rounder. They brought Travis Kelce back on a 1-year, $12 million deal. They acquired Justin Fields from the Jets as the backup insurance policy. The message from the organization is loud and clear. This is still Mahomes' team. Here is the real truth behind the headline. Mahomes signed a new deal that sent shockwaves through the sports world, but it wasn't because he's leaving football. The Adidas extension with a golf line and global reach represents something bigger, a quarterback building his post-football empire while still in his football prime. The ACL tear was a setback, not a goodbye. The contract restructure proves Kansas City is fully committed. And the business moves, from the Royals to Sporting KC to the Current to Alpine F1 to the Steakhouse with Kelce to the Gladiator logo on high school jerseys, reveal a man with zero plans to fade away. The most dangerous thing about Patrick Mahomes was never just his arm. It was his ability to see the whole field. And right now, that field is a lot bigger than 100 yards.